So let's get back to business. Arsenal 3, Dinamo Zagreb 0. Listen, I didn't think it was a great performance, certainly for the first... actually, no, we got off to a great start. 2 minutes in, Declan Rice, very good goal. I think that was part of my frustration because I honestly thought we were going to kick on and really smash this team. We know that Bayern put 9 past them a little while back, and I was thinking, you know what, this could be, a goal fest. Mm-hmm. We had to wait till 66 minutes for the second goal. It was a bit frustrating, but in the end, I think, we won 3-0. Job done, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. These games, as much as we want to use teams like this to build confidence, we should be beating these teams comprehensively. And it was comprehensive, even from a defensive perspective, a couple of little mistakes, but no shots on target for them. So when I'm talking about a comprehensive victory, it's at both ends of the pitch. And actually, we know Arsenal can be, I don't want to say mentally fragile, but we're not the team. They're not mentally as strong as the Man Cities and the Liverpools. You don't have that history of winning those big trophies. You don't have that experience yet. We're trying to get there. And so going life and death with a team like this at this level can be detrimental to that, because I don't know how you take that and go into a game against Wolves, who have loads of good players all over the pitch. How you go into a game against, obviously, Girona's the next week. How you go into a game against Man City the following week. How you can take confidence if you're going life and death. So it's really important to go in and win this game comprehensively for the build-up of what's going to come next.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, listen... maybe we've been giving them a little bit of a disservice, because coming into this game, they'd had 6 Champions League games in this format prior to today. I think their record was 2-2-2.
Yeah. But
we do know that they've got smashed by Bayern Munich, and we know that they've not played for a while a competitive game. I don't think they've played a competitive game since the 14th of December. So really and truly, they were there for the taking.
Yeah.
And like I said, the fact that we went 1-0 up after 2 minutes, you're kind of expecting us to push on and really put them to the sword. And we didn't really do that until late. We got the second goal in the 66th minute, and then we got Ødegaard, got a third one later. So I think that was my personal disappointment. But I don't want that to overshadow.
I think I felt similar. I think the fear that I have, we've seen so many games where we score a goal early, or we don't score a goal early, and as time goes on, we start confident, and the confidence dwindles over a period of time. Whether we're 1-0 up or 0-0, and by the 67th minute, you're starting to think, damn, are we ever going to score? Do you know what I mean? And so for us, that's what actually happened. We went 1-0 up, and it was really positive, and you watched the watch along, were really positive. And as we get to half-time and in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half, the confidence is beginning to dwindle. Then what happens? We go and get ourselves a goal. It's a brilliant cross from Martinelli. And it's something that we don't normally see from Martinelli. He doesn't really cut in and cross that much. It was a header that Kai Havertz ran off. And Kai Havertz had been doing that a lot in the game, running off. He was struggling physically, but he had a lot of free space and there was no one really on him. He had a free header. He got the goal. And after that, the level went up again. So you can clearly see getting these goals and having good performance moments lifts the team. And when we're not, it's dragging the team down. So, like I say, goals win games. And for me, that's what's really important. And what can be a bit of a banana skin with these teams is, although they're not coming from very competitive leagues or the so-called top 5 European leagues, some of these guys are champions or come first or second in their league. So although they're not our level or Bayern Munich's level, they're not very used to losing games, right? It's only really when it comes to the Champions League, in their domestic campaigns, that's why it's so difficult to go to these teams away sometimes. In their domestic campaigns, they win a lot of games. But yeah, we did the job. We did what we needed to do. Can't say fairer than that.
No, well said. Talk to me about Declan Rice, because he got man of the match. And I know from what you were saying on the watch-along, you was impressed by his performance. Tell the people why you think Declan Rice was man of the match and why he's so important to Arsenal.
I mean, the first time I saw it in recent weeks was when he came on against Manchester United. Straight away, he looked like the camera gave him a close-up as they do when someone's getting subbed on, and he was talking to Ødegaard and talking to the other players, and he was pointing at himself saying, it's me, give me the ball, I'm going to get the goal. He went up for a couple of headers, he beat the centre-backs for headers, he didn't get the goal, we ended up going out on penalties. But that taking responsibility, that leadership, we could see he's going into more advanced positions. They're leaving the Jorginho or the Partey to be the 6, and he is trying to establish himself as that 8, more progressive, going and getting goals. And that's what we saw straight away. As soon as he's in the box, he gets the shot away straight away. He has to kind of contort his body to get the finish off. He does it really well. And then all the way on the other end of the pitch, because sometimes you can have a player that goes and gets goals but forgets that defensive side of their responsibilities. He's back. I think when Timber made a mistake or Kivior, someone made a mistake, he dropped all the way back, gave that support, made a tackle in his own box, sends the ball long. He just seems to be really sensible. We have a tendency to overplay the ball when we're getting too comfortable. We have a tendency to make defensive mistakes or lapses in judgment when we're getting too comfortable. And I just don't really see that. He's very, very mature. I constantly talk about game management. He's made one poor mistake against, I think it was Brighton earlier on in the season to get that red card. It's a little bit immature. But other than that, the game management from Declan Rice, we manage games far better when he's on the pitch. And one of the things I look at when I'm looking at football is how much the players play the ball to that player. That is an indication to me that the players themselves trust him, and they seem to trust Declan Rice constantly. They're playing in the ball whenever he wants it, tight spaces, ball around the corner, cross into the box, whatever it is. He does a little bit of everything, and that's what we need from a leader in the team.
No, well said. I completely agree with that. I thought he had a very good game. Could even have had another goal. I mean, there was that header at the end there that he put wide that really should have done a little bit better. He himself acknowledged that, which I like. If you notice that after that incident, he just banging his head. He was saying, come on, he was geeing himself out. I like that. He didn't feel sorry for himself. He wants to go again. Talk about Kai Havertz. He got a goal and an assist today. What do you think of his performance?
He did some good stuff. He got the goal, really positive. He got the assist, really positive. There were some negatives as well. A couple of times, he's fluffing his line still a little bit, but that stuff's so important to his confidence. Do you know what I mean? He's slowly building back to his confidence, and whether we like it or not, we have to support him, because for now, that's all we've got in that number 9 position. So, but anytime, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to be a bit of a clumsy player. He's not the most controlled player, but he just needs goals. That's all he needs is goals, or positive. Even positive moments, I think, don't really boost him. He just needs the goals. The more goals he gets, the more confident he is, the more the fans can G him up, and then it just becomes a positive cycle. And that's all it is with him. Arteta says all the time he just needs love, and it's very difficult to keep giving him love when he's missing chances, costing us points. It is difficult. You don't want to go too far and make it a toxic situation, but it's difficult to be positive about it. But he did what he needed to do today. Like I said, a goal and assist in the Champions League. Arguably, if he's not on that pitch, we're struggling, right? Take away 2 of those goals. So that's what he needs to do.
And another person who it could be argued needs goals got one today. Really pleased for him, Martin Ødegaard. Actually, I didn't think he played that well, to be honest. But again, he got the goal, so it's something to build for the future. Yeah?
I'll probably give him more credit than you do. I think he played quite well. I think there were quite a few times. One of the things we were missing from Ødegaard is those shots in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. That's what he was doing last season, the season before that. We're really missing that. We could see today he kept trying to go for it. Although it wasn't coming off, they were very defensively, not sound, but they were flying into challenges. They're very aggressive. And you could see that he wanted to do it. He was just on the edge. It didn't quite come off, but he was doing his best to do it. And I see the intention is there. So I feel like in the next couple of weeks, I won't be surprised to see him score again.
Okay, and just very quickly, we're rounding up now. The 3-0 win, big game on Saturday. Do you think today's performance gives us that kind of confidence we need? Because I do think that Wolves will be a far more difficult test than Zagreb were today.
I mean, it has to. It's 3-0 at home. If that's not going to give you confidence, what is, right? You start getting into 5s and 6s and 7s, and we're getting into like fantasy scorelines where they can happen, but you're never going to predict it to happen, right? So a 3-0 at home against Zagreb, it's still a Champions League game. They're still in there on merit. That's what it is. You've got to take confidence. If that's not, geeing you up for confidence, I don't know what is.